Neuroscientists studying infant brain development found something that made seasoned researchers go quiet. The damage wasn't coming from neglectful parents. It was coming from the devoted ones who had no idea what their baby was actually trying to tell them. Number 1. Letting cries go unanswered, even briefly, as a strategy. You have probably read somewhere that waiting before responding teaches independence. Here is what your baby's brain actually experiences in those silent minutes. Their stress hormone, cortisol, surges fast. And when that happens repeatedly without a caregiver arriving to provide calm, the developing brain begins wiring a belief into its very structure. The world is uncertain. Help is unreliable. I am not worth responding to. One late response does not cause lasting harm, but the consistent pattern of delayed comfort shapes the architecture of emotional regulation for years ahead. Number 2. Speaking with tension in your voice while using loving words. Babies are tuned to vocal tone with extraordinary precision even before birth. By 3 months old, your baby can detect stress in your voice with startling accuracy, and their nervous system reacts to what it detects, not what you intend. Research has shown that infants as young as 6 months showed measurable stress responses just from overhearing adult conflict, even during sleep. When you speak with tightness in your voice, your baby does not process the words. They feel the emotional texture underneath them, and a tense caregiver means danger to a tiny nervous system that depends entirely on you for safety signals. Number 3. Pushing social interaction past your baby's signals. When your baby looks away, goes stiff, or fusses during a social interaction, they are not being difficult. They are setting a boundary. Babies use gaze aversion as a genuine self-regulation tool. It means this is too much right now. When adults override that signal and push for more engagement anyway, it begins teaching a deeply uncomfortable lesson. Your limits do not matter. The people who protect you will not honor your no. That body level lesson gets stored without words and can take years to surface and unlearn. Number 4. Responding to distress with dismissal. Your baby is crying hard over something that seems minor to you, and your instinctive response is, "You are fine, stop crying." Here's the neurological reality. Babies cannot self-regulate their emotions independently. That capacity lives in the prefrontal cortex and is nowhere near developed. What babies rely on instead is borrowing your calm nervous system to settle their own. When you minimize the emotion instead of acknowledging it, the distress has nowhere to go. Over time, the gap between what your baby feels and what they are told to feel becomes one of the earliest seeds of emotional dysregulation and anxiety. You do not need to fix their feelings. You only need to name them. I've linked a resource in the description that I think you'll find really helpful. Number 5. Being physically present but facially absent because of your phone. This is the one I mentioned. There is a famous body of research called the still face experiments. Researchers had mothers interact warmly with their babies, then suddenly go expressionless and unresponsive. Within seconds, babies became visibly distressed, trying everything to re-engage. When you are truly absorbed in scrolling, your face goes still in exactly that way. To a baby who is constantly reading your face for safety information, a blank screen-absorbed expression can trigger the same alarm response. Your face is their emotional mirror. When it goes dark repeatedly, it registers as something wrong in the world they depend on. Number 6. Sensory overloading disguised as enrichment. Everything from flashing toy gyms to background television to loud music is sold as stimulation that benefits babies. But a newborn's nervous system can handle only a fraction of what adults absorb without a second thought. When babies become overstimulated, they cry, arch, look away, or zone out completely. The natural parental instinct is to try more. More rocking, more noise, more distraction. But what an overwhelmed baby actually needs is the opposite. Quiet, stillness, dimness, and a regulated adult presence beside them. Number 7. Missing serve and return moments. This is the one that will shift how you see ordinary time together. Researchers have identified that when a baby makes a sound, points at something, or looks at an object with curiosity and a caregiver notices and responds, something extraordinary happens neurologically. Neural pathways in the prefrontal cortex form rapidly. Language, emotional intelligence, and executive function are literally being built through these casual back and forth exchanges. The Harvard Center on the Developing Child has identified serve and return as the single most critical interaction in early development. When a baby reaches out with curiosity and no one responds, those ready pathways simply do not form. Number 8, disappearing without warning. Sneaking out to avoid a crying goodbye feels kinder, but to your baby, the person they are most neurologically anchored to has simply vanished without any transition. Research consistently shows that babies who experience predictable goodbyes, even ones involving tears, develop more secure attachment than babies whose caregivers regularly disappear without warning. The crying at a proper farewell is not distress building up, it is distress being released. There is a fundamental difference between those two things. Number 9. Chronic low physical contact. Touch is not comfort for babies, it is biology. When a baby is held, oxytocin releases in both of you, cortisol drops, heart rate steadies, and the nervous system settles into genuine safety. But it is not just about picking them up when they cry. It is the casual hand on their back while they explore, the brush of your cheek against theirs as you pass by. These micro moments of touch continuously communicate one essential message: you are safe, you are seen, you are not alone. Babies in loving homes who simply experience less incidental physical contact show measurably elevated baseline stress levels. Their nervous systems run a quiet, constant alarm because one primary signal of safety is missing. If you recognize yourself in any of these 9 things, that recognition itself matters. The research on secure attachment is actually quite clear that perfection is not the goal and never has been. What shapes a child's emotional foundation is not the absence of mistakes. It is the repair after them, the return, the moment you notice the disconnection and come back. That cycle of missing and reconnecting is actually how secure attachment gets built. Your baby is not looking for a flawless parent, they are looking for a present one who keeps coming back. If this opens something for you, share it with another parent who needs to hear it. I will see you in the next one. Please subscribe.